All right, YouTube. So in the midst of the ridiculous nonsense that's going on here in the base state of Massachusetts, state that I was born and raised in, and the fact that I love this state, but I'm very concerned about the direction that it's in because of the direction that the failed policies of Maura Healey and Kim Driscoll are taking us, and the fact that I know for a fact that our state is way off track and in the wrong direction. A lot of people say that Massachusetts is like, oh, no, it's like California, now it's like California. I actually don't even think it's even like California, because I see Massachusetts and the direction that it's going in. I see Massachusetts as becoming like Louisiana in terms of corruption. Now, you know how everyone knows that Louisiana is very corrupt, very poor, very mismanaged. There's one party, Republican, far-right Republican rule there, right? We all know about that. We all know that Louisiana has a super shitty economy, it's not performing well, is terrible in almost every ranking, right? Well, that's because of their cronyism, corruption, and bad government, right? Well, Massachusetts' cronyism, corruption, and bad government under Maura Healey, it's literally just looking like Louisiana in reverse. It's the same level of cronyism, corruption, and bad government that we're seeing in solid red states. Now, you can have a monopoly, but this is a monopoly, and it happens to be all Democrats here, all Republicans in Louisiana. So Massachusetts, in terms of corruption under this administration, is looking more and more like Louisiana. It's just Louisiana in reverse. Just less religiosity, less far-right Republicans, but it honestly is just looking more and more like that in terms of the corruption, the bribery, the scandals, the cronyism, the corruption, the bribery, the bad government, just all those things combined. Maura Healey signs no-bid contracts with state shelters, mismanaging these state shelters and using migrant communities to the tune of billions of our taxpayer dollars in this state. And the audit that came out is worse than what we all knew. There is so much wasteful spending in that, wasting as much as $3 billion of our taxpayer money in terms of this. This is political theater and brownie points for the Democrats to try to act like they care about immigrant communities and that they want to use this to their advantage and nothing more. They don't care about these communities and their children. They just care about the money that they're getting from them. And so they can take it from other taxpayers. They can take that money from us, the taxpayers, and make us flip the bill to the tune of billions of dollars. It's not fair to the children or to those people themselves, nor is it fair to the taxpayers of Massachusetts. So, in the midst of all this actually happened on Friday. Our more level-headed neighbor in the region, New Hampshire, which doesn't do any of this bullshit because they actually have a functioning government where actually the people that run it actually have half a fucking brain in their head. They did just the opposite of what we did here. You know that they actually banned sanctuary cities in New Hampshire? They actually banned them. And I was so eager about this when I heard this on Friday, I shit you not. I actually called the New Hampshire legislation. I called the New Hampshire State House to voice my support for that measure. And I called them and I spoke to someone on the phone saying that, hey, you guys actually got common sense there, unlike the jackasses down here that tax us up the ass, use migrants to their own advantage and waste our money and taking us backwards and just shit-wrecking our state all around. And the guy said, oh, well, thank you. I appreciate that. I will pass that message on to the Senate House. And then he even gave me the number for the governor's office, and I actually called the governor's office. Well, I mean, I couldn't get a hold of the governor's office. I actually left the voicemail. I emailed the New Hampshire State House, including the governor's office, and I did that. And anybody who thinks, oh, you're just doing it because you're against immigrants, you're against immigrant communities and everything else, bullshit. None of this has anything to do with being against immigrants. This has never been the case. This isn't a MAGA talking point. There has to become a point where we have to say enough is enough. We are full. We cannot take any more people in. Enough is enough. That's basically what everybody's saying. Every country has some type of borders. I'm not saying doing it the MAGA way because I think they overblow 90 to 95% of this shit, and they're just doing it to whoever they fucking please. I'm not saying to do it like that. I'm just saying you have to be a nation of immigrants, which I believe we absolutely should be, because my grandparents came from Portugal. Two of my grandparents on my dad's side came from Portugal. On my mom's side, from Italy. So I am proud of my roots, and I am proud of that. And we should be a nation of immigrants, a nation where people should, feel safe to come to and everything else. But we also have to be a nation of laws. And I'm not saying doing it the MAGA way, doing it the fucking Trump way. Never was my position. Every country has strict border rules. The DPRK does not allow this type of thing. The DPRK, Laos, or Cuba, none of those states allow that. You actually have to have laws and have your laws to make sure the people who are coming in are safe and whatnot. Everybody's coming in is safe and everything. And I believe in that. I believe that we should be doing that. It just has to come to a point that, look, some of this stuff has to be controlled. And the Democrats only believe in mass migration so they can take advantage of these people, and so they can flip the bill on the taxpayers so they can get more money off of it. It's all for the profit. It's you got the Democrats that just want to profit off of immigrant communities and violate the will of migrants and basically do all that and putting so many of them at risk and putting our economy and our debt at risk. That's the reason why I am against this type of thing. I want to have a situation where everybody feels safe in their own communities, where everybody thrives together, where young people can start careers, where immigrants who come here do so in a righteous way, in a legal way, and they come here and they do that and they thrive with all of us. I want them to thrive. I want all of us to thrive, where you can be able to raise a family, where you can afford to retire. But Maura Healey takes advantage of this type of thing. That's the reason why. Now, we shouldn't be considered that per se, because when you're considered to be a sanctuary state, what that does is that actually abuses the system for the people that actually need it. Sanctuary city is not the answer. I have always been opposed to that type of thing because it is used and abused by the Democrats so they can get more money off of it. That's the reason why I'm against it and why it's not a good idea. That's the reason I'm against it. And if anybody thinks that it has to do with immigrants, then you don't know me very well and you have never been paying attention. So spare me with that nonsense, okay? They would not put up with this in any other country, especially the DPRK and Laos and Cuba and Vietnam and so forth, China, Russia. They wouldn't put up with this. Why should we? It's like, why should any country deal with this? It's not. And the Democrats do this to their advantage. We need to be a sanctuary for everybody. The right to shelter law here in Massachusetts has been nothing short of abused. It's been abused by this current administration. It has been abused by this current administration. And yes, we all know U.S. imperialism is what causes a lot of people from like El Salvador and all these other places, to come here, because the U.S. coups their governments and puts right-wing dictators in there, and in Latin America and the Caribbean and in other parts of the world causes migrant crises and other things to come here. But what the Democrats do is that they want to use them for their advantage. That's what they do, and it's disgusting. Basically, the Democrats are human trafficking them. That's what they're doing, and it's disgusting. It is fucking disgusting. And their so-called inclusiveness for immigrant communities, it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any fucking sense whatsoever. They're using it for their advantage, and they don't care about these people or the children or our taxpayers. They only care about themselves. That's what they care about. And this corruption, fraud, and everything is so off the charts under this administration. It's such a joke. We need to reform the right to shelter law and make sure that it is only used for necessary purposes, not so that Democrats can use and abuse it and allow other people to come in and use and abuse it. I'm saying it needs to be used in the proper sense. We need to take it out and reform it and do real immigration reform and do it that way. You need to do it in a balanced way, not the way the Democrats are doing it, because all they're doing is profiting off of it. Yeah, this is the direction that it is. And nothing Maura Healey has ever done is that she's never done anything to deserve a promotion ever in her entire life. After seeing record high local taxes on meals and hotels and on motor vehicles and on candy and fucking cable boxes, taking an additional $62 billion out of the pockets of families. I mean, this state has a spending budget under Maura Healey at a rate faster than 37 other states. Only 12 other states raised spending the way she did. And the majority of that spending is going on these corrupt no-bid contracts for these shelter programs that Maura Healey is using and the Democrats and all them are using to abuse and everything else. It doesn't make any sense. It's untransparent and it's corrupt and it's disgusting. It's wasteful and it doesn't make any sense. The whole dynamic of it doesn't make any sense. So that's what they have done. And they're turning this state into a joke. It's a laughingstock. It's a disgrace, the things that they are doing to us, the taxpayers, and to these people. It's disgusting. And it has to stop somewhere. They can't just keep spending our money like it's going out of style. They can't just keep taxing people to death. They can't just keep on doing it. We need to find the right balance, and that's why we need something different. Get rid of this clown administration and elect something different, because it's not working. It's not working whatsoever. And do you really think that Maura Healey and the Democrats would ever take any of these people in? Do you really think that she would do that? You think her and her rich Democrat donors would ever do that? Kim Driscoll or fucking Ron Marino, do you think he would ever fucking do that? You think he'd ever host an immigrant family from Haiti or El Salvador or something? Give me a fucking break. It's never going to happen. They want you to pay for it. They want the taxpayers to pay for it. They don't care about these people. They want you to pay for it so they can profit off of it. That's what it is. New Hampshire has more common sense than we do. I mean, that's just a fucking fact. And that's why I voiced my support. And I don't care if you like that or not. Who fucking cares? It's got to be said. Something has to be done about it. They're just going in a better direction than we are. Most states in the country are recovering, and we're not. We're so far backward, it's not even funny. We're 49th out of 50 states for growth, according to the U-Haul index. And you know all the other, we're 41st out of 50 in tax competitiveness. Because Maura Healey's energy policies, tax policies, have made it an unpredictable, untransparent environment that makes it more and more difficult for jobs and investment to be here. And all these scandals, like the surtax and the higher surtax is poorly handled, all of those things. No transparency, no checks and balances. None of it. It doesn't exist with this administration. It's a joke. And we need to look for the right balance. But Maura Healey has made Massachusetts a worse off Massachusetts in every way, shape, or form. We should not be comfortable with the status quo. What we need to do is strike a balance. Reform the right to shelter law. Control the growth. Reduce the middle class tax burden. Because we're way off track and in the wrong direction. And the only way we can turn things around is electing a new administration. A new administration that will respect our dollars, not tax us to death, will control this growth, and do something different with it. Because I'm telling you right now, this isn't it. And one can only hope that in 2026, we can make informed choices. And let's continue to do it. And let's keep fighting. And on that note, I just want to end it here for that segment there. And kudos to the governor of New Hampshire for doing the right thing by keeping her state on track while the state to the south of her is off track and in the wrong direction. But maybe someday. Hopefully someday we can rejoin the community of states and go in the right direction. One can only hope. But anyway, this is where I'm going to wrap it up for now. I got to finish up at work and clock out and everything else, so because it's almost towards the end of my shift now. So thank you everybody for watching and listening. I will be back on Monday with my next stream. Look out for that. Other stuff in the works. Stay tuned for more. Hope everyone had a great weekend, and I'll be back with more, including a big stream on Monday. You don't want to miss it. I've got lots to talk about that, and I'm going to say most of the topics for the stream on Monday. Stay tuned, stay safe, stay well, stay classy, keep fighting, keep on rocking, take care of yourselves and all of each other, and I'll see you comrades in the next one. Till next time, everybody, have yourselves a good one, have a good rest of your weekend, and I'll see you Monday with my next stream and more stuff coming up soon. Bye for now, peace out, see y'all next time. Until next time, so long.